There is no mercy on the savannah. Only hunger, speed, and the will to survive. Every sunrise here is a countdown. Somewhere, right now, something is running for its life. And somewhere else, something is starving. The strong do not always win. The fast do not always escape. And the king does not always eat. This is Africa, unfiltered, unforgiving. This is the bloodline of survival. Welcome back to the wild heart of Africa. A place where the food chain isn't a straight line. It's a battlefield with no fixed rules. Out here, today's predator can become tomorrow's prey in the space of a single heartbeat. It's dusk on the Serengeti. A pride of lionesses fans out low through the golden grass. Closing in on a herd of zebra grazing near a waterhole. For 20 minutes, they don't move faster than a crawl. Every muscle coiled, every step silent. Then the wind shifts. One zebra's head snaps up. A single alarm bark, and the entire herd explodes into motion, a blur of black and white stripes scattering in every direction. Designed by evolution itself to confuse a predator's eyes mid-charge. The lead lioness bursts from cover at nearly 50 miles per hour, closing the gap in seconds. She misses by less than a body length. This is the reality documentaries rarely show you. Lions fail far more than they succeed. Solo hunts fail roughly 80% of the time. Even coordinated pride hunts fail more often than not. The king of the jungle spends most of its life hungry, not feasting. A young male buffalo, separated from his herd during a river crossing, is spotted by 3 lionesses. They move in fast. This looks like an easy kill. One lioness clamps onto his throat. Another leaps onto his back. The buffalo staggers, but does not fall. For nearly 11 minutes, he fights. He slams his massive horn sideways, catching one lioness across the ribs and sending her tumbling. He drags all 3 animals through the mud, refusing to go down. In the distance, the herd hears the commotion and turns back. 20 buffalo thunder into the clearing. The lionesses scatter. The wounded male, bleeding but alive, disappears into the safety of the herd. Cape buffalo are one of the only prey species in Africa known to actively hunt down the predators that attack them. They don't just defend, they retaliate. Not every lion walks away. Across the plains, old lions are found with shattered jaws from buffalo horns that connected. Others go permanently blind after a hoof strike to the skull. A hippo's bite alone can end a lion's life in seconds, crushing bone as easily as it crushes reeds. This is the hidden cost of being an apex predator. Every meal is a gamble, and the house doesn't always let you walk away. Wildlife biologists estimate that serious hunting injuries shorten the average lifespan of wild lions dramatically. A slow death sentence disguised as a scar. During the dry season, prides are sometimes forced to follow migrating herds across crocodile-infested rivers. There is no bridge. There is no other way. The lion has to swim halfway across the Mara River. A young male feels something brush against his hind leg. He doesn't see it coming. Crocodile explodes from beneath the surface, jaws locking around the lion's leg with a bite force that leaves no room for escape. The lion thrashes, claws raking uselessly against armored hide. But the crocodile begins its death roll, spinning violently underwater to disorient and drown its prey. This particular lion is lucky. His pride mates reach the bank in time, and the panic sends the crocodile briefly loosening its grip. He drags himself onto the mud, bleeding, exhausted, alive. Many others are not so fortunate. It's a truth that shatters the myth of the invincible king. On the riverbanks of Africa, the lion is not the apex predator. It's simply another animal trying not to die. But not every giant on this continent lives in fear of the river or dreads the failed hunt. There is one animal so massive, so intelligent, and so fiercely protective of its family that even a hungry lion thinks twice before approaching. Weighing up to 6 tons, capable of crushing bone with a single footstep, and bound together by one of the tightest social structures in the animal kingdom. The African elephant should, by every measure, be untouchable, and most of the time it is. But desperation changes the rules of the savannah. When the dry season stretches on for months and the herds grow thin with hunger, even the boldest predators start eyeing targets they would normally never dare to touch. A newborn calf, an elderly bull, slow and alone. In these rare, high-stakes moments, Africa's gentle giants are forced to prove that size and strength are not always enough. An adult African elephant can weigh over 6 tons, heavier than a school bus. Strong enough to uproot a fully grown tree. And armored in skin nearly an inch thick. Elephants live in tight matriarchal herds led by the oldest, most experienced female, who carries decades of memory about water sources, danger, and survival. There is no natural predator on this continent bold enough to challenge a healthy adult elephant one-on-one. For nearly every other species on the savannah, an elephant isn't prey. It's a force of nature you simply stay out of the way of. When danger is sensed, a strange scent on the wind, the distant rumble of lions, the shadow of a predator too close. The herd doesn't scatter. It closes ranks. Calves are pushed into the center, surrounded on all sides by the bodies of ants, sisters and mothers. Tusks and trunks facing outward like a living wall. This formation isn't instinct alone, it's coordination, communication, and collective memory passed down through generations of matriarchs who have faced this exact threat before. It is, without exaggeration, one of the most effective defensive strategies in the entire animal kingdom. But even fortresses have a weak point, and the driest months of the year expose it. During extreme drought in parts of Botswana and Zimbabwe, entire prides of lions, sometimes 15 animals or more, working together in a scale of coordination almost never seen elsewhere, have been documented targeting elephants, not adults, not even juveniles. Newborn calves or elderly bulls too weak and slow to keep pace with the herd. This is not a hunt of confidence. It's a hunt of desperation. When there is nothing left to eat and the alternative is starvation, even facing down a mother elephant becomes a risk worth taking. Pride surrounds the target under cover of night, using overwhelming numbers to separate it from the protection of the herd. The single most dangerous move a lion can make in its entire life. The moment a calf screams, everything changes. A charging matriarch does not hesitate, does not calculate risk, does not slow down, ears flared. Trunk raised, she closes the distance in seconds. And a full-grown elephant moving at speed hits with the force of a runaway vehicle. Lions that don't scatter fast enough are gored, trampled, or hurled through the air. There are documented cases of enraged mother elephants killing lions outright in these confrontations. flipping animals more than 10 times their own body weight with a single motion of the head. It is one of the only scenes in nature where the apex predator is the one running for its life. Most of the time, this fury is enough. The pride retreats and the calf survives. But nature is not sentimental, and it does not reward loyalty with permanent safety. On rare occasions, almost always involving a calf that strayed too far, or an elderly bull already dying from age or injury, the predators succeed. It's a brutal but consistent law across the entire animal kingdom. Predators almost never test strength head-on. They test weakness, age, distance from the herd, a single unguarded moment. The elephant is not undefeated because it cannot be hunted. It's undefeated because it almost never gives anything the chance to try. If the elephant survives through strength and unity, the next predator we're about to meet survives through something far older. Patience measured not in minutes, but in millions of years. Long before lions ever prowled these plains, before elephants ever walked the earth, one hunter was already perfecting the art of the ambush. The Nile crocodile hasn't changed its hunting strategy in over 200 million years. It doesn't need to, hidden just beneath the surface of the water, eyes and nostrils barely breaking the waterline. It can remain motionless for hours, sometimes days, waiting for exactly the right moment to strike. And when that moment comes, it delivers one of the most powerful bites of any living animal on Earth, followed by a spinning, disorienting maneuver from which almost nothing escapes. Every year, this ambush plays out on the banks of the Mara River, where over 1 million wildebeest and zebra are forced to cross crocodile-infested waters during the Great Migration, turning a routine journey into one of nature's deadliest gauntlets. This is the river where numbers, not strength, decide who survives. The Nile crocodile has barely evolved in over 200 million years, and it never needed to. Its bite force is estimated at nearly 5,000 pounds per square inch. Among the strongest of any animal alive today. Capable of shattering bone in a single clamp. Once it locks onto prey, it performs what biologists call the death roll, spinning its entire body violently to tear flesh and drown its target simultaneously. It doesn't chase. It doesn't need to. It simply waits for prey to make one mistake. Every year, over 1 million wildebeest and zebra migrate across the Serengeti Mara ecosystem. And every year, the same deadly obstacle stands in their way, the Mara River. As the herd gathers on the bank, hesitation ripples through thousands of animals until one steps forward and the rest follow in a chaotic, thundering wave. Beneath the surface, dozens of crocodiles are already in position. The strike, when it comes, is nearly silent. A wildebeest near the middle of the crossing simply vanishes beneath the surface, pulled under by jaws that clamped shut in less than half a second. What follows is chaos, churning water. Panicked animals leaping over one another, and a river running red. Not every crossing ends in an easy kill. In rare, dramatic cases, a wildebeest caught in a crocodile's jaws manages to keep its head above water long enough for others nearby to notice. The herd, usually indifferent to an individual's fate mid-crossing, occasionally reverses. A group charges back into the shallows, and the sheer force of a dozen wildebeest trampling through the water is sometimes enough to force the crocodile to release its grip and retreat to deeper water. It's an uncommon act of collective defense, but it happens, and it's a reminder that numbers can overwhelm even a perfect predator. Cape buffalo are the crocodile's most dangerous prey by far. A full-grown bull can weigh close to a ton. And unlike smaller prey, it does not panic. In multiple recorded encounters, a crocodile has locked onto a buffalo's leg or muzzle only to be dragged through the water for several minutes as the buffalo simply keeps walking, refusing to go under. In some of these standoffs, the crocodile eventually loses its grip entirely, unable to overpower an animal built like a tank. It's one of the rare matchups on this river where raw mass beats a perfect ambush. What makes the Nile crocodile one of the most efficient predators on the planet isn't speed or strength alone. It's restraint. A crocodile can go for over a year without eating if it needs to, conserving energy while it waits for the exact right target. Young, weak, distracted, or simply unlucky enough to cross at the wrong second. There is no wasted movement, no unnecessary risk. Just stillness, timing, and one explosive strike that ends it all in an instant. Not every battle in Africa is between predator and prey. Sometimes, the most vicious wars are fought between two predators who want exactly the same thing. Deep in the plains, away from the cameras that usually follow lions and crocodiles, a quieter but equally brutal rivalry plays out almost every single day. On one side, the spotted hyena, a scavenger and hunter that travels in massive, tightly bonded clans of females, using overwhelming numbers to dominate almost any confrontation. On the other, the African wild dog, one of the rarest and most endangered carnivores on the continent. Smaller, lighter, but armed with a level of pack coordination so precise that its hunting success rate outperforms lions, leopards, and hyenas combined. These two species don't just compete for the same prey. They actively hunt each other's kills, invade each other's territory, and in some of the most intense confrontations ever documented in the wild, fight to the death over the right to survive on the same stretch of land. Spotted hyena clans can number in the dozens, organized under a strict female-led hierarchy, relying on raw numbers and bone-crushing jaw strength to overwhelm almost any opponent. African wild dogs operate in far smaller packs, often just 6 to 20 animals, led by a dominant breeding pair. But compensating for their size with near-perfect coordination, where hyenas overwhelm, wild dogs orchestrate. It's a rivalry built on two completely opposite survival strategies. And neither species backs down easily when they collide. In parts of the Okavango Delta and northern Botswana, wild dog packs and hyena clans are frequently forced into the same hunting grounds, especially as habitat shrinks under human pressure. When a wild dog pack makes a kill, it's a race against time. Hyenas can smell blood from over a mile away, and they arrive fast, in numbers the dogs simply cannot match head-on. What follows is a tense standoff, wild dogs eating in a frenzy, gorging as much meat as possible in minutes, while hyenas circle closer, testing the pack's resolve. When wild dogs choose to fight rather than flee, they rely on speed, unpredictability, and pack synchronization. Multiple dogs will strike a single hyena simultaneously from different angles, nipping at legs and flanks faster than the larger, heavier hyena can turn to retaliate. It's a strategy built on hitting hard, hitting fast, and never staying in one place long enough to be caught. In several documented encounters, a well-coordinated dog pack has successfully driven off hyenas, outnumbering them individually in size, if not in sheer bite force. But when a hyena clan arrives at full strength, 30, 40, sometimes 50 animals. No amount of coordination can save a small wild dog pack. In the most devastating recorded confrontations, entire packs of wild dogs have been wiped out in a single encounter, unable to outmaneuver an opponent that simply never runs out of reinforcements. This is the wild dog's greatest vulnerability. Brilliance in strategy cannot always overcome a brutal deficit in numbers. This isn't just a story about individual battles. It's a story about survival at a species level. African wild dogs are now one of the most endangered carnivores in Africa. With fewer than 7,000 remaining in the wild. Competition with hyenas for territory and kills is one of several major pressures. Alongside habitat loss and disease, pushing this species closer to the brink. Every clash on this stretch of savanna isn't just about today's meal. It's a small piece of a much larger fight for survival that this species is slowly losing. There is one hunter on this continent built differently from every other predator we've met so far. It doesn't rely on strength like the lion. It doesn't rely on numbers like the hyena. It doesn't rely on patience like the crocodile. It relies on something no other land animal on Earth can match: pure, explosive speed. The cheetah can accelerate from 0 to 60 miles per hour in under 3 seconds, faster than most sports cars. For a few dazzling moments, it is, without question, the fastest thing on 4 legs anywhere on the planet. But speed came at a cost. To achieve it, evolution stripped away almost everything else: muscle mass, bite force, raw physical power. The result is a predator perfectly built to catch its prey, and almost completely unable to defend the kill once it's made. In a landscape ruled by bigger, stronger, more aggressive competitors, being the fastest was never a guarantee of survival. Sometimes it just meant losing everything a few minutes later. A cheetah's entire body is a machine engineered for one purpose: acceleration. An enlarged heart and lungs, semi-retractable claws for extra grip, and a long, flexible spine that acts like a spring with every stride. But that same lightweight frame that makes it the fastest land animal alive also makes it dangerously fragile. A cheetah weighs barely half as much as a leopard and far less than a lion or hyena. It is a predator perfectly designed to win the chase and almost perfectly incapable of winning the fight that often follows. A cheetah stalking a herd of Thompson's gazelle has one enormous advantage and one brutal limitation. It can outrun almost anything alive, but only for about 20 to 30 seconds before its body overheats dangerously. The chase begins with an explosive burst of acceleration, closing a 50-yard gap in the blink of an eye. The gazelle cuts sharply, trying to break the cheetah's momentum, and for a fraction of a second, the outcome hangs entirely on which animal reacts faster. A precise trip of the hind leg sends the gazelle tumbling, and the cheetah closes with a suffocating bite to the throat. The entire hunt, from first sprint to kill, is often over in under a minute. But the danger isn't over. It's just beginning. After a full-speed chase, a cheetah's body temperature spikes so high that it must pause to recover before it can even eat. Panting heavily for several minutes while exposed in open grassland. This delay is often fatal to the kill itself. Hyenas can smell a fresh carcass from remarkable distances. And a single hyena, or worse, pride of lions, arriving during this recovery window will claim the kill outright. Cheetahs almost never fight to defend a carcass against a larger predator. The risk of injury is too catastrophic for an animal that survives purely on speed. In many documented cases, cheetahs lose over half of their successful kills to larger competitors before they've eaten a single bite. For a female cheetah raising cubs, this vulnerability multiplies. She hunts alone, with no pack to help defend a kill or guard her young while she's away. Cubs left hidden in tall grass are frequently targeted by eagles, hyenas, and even male lions. And cheetah cub mortality in the wild is estimated at over 70% in the first few months of life. A mother cheetah's survival strategy becomes a constant, exhausting balancing act. Hunt often enough to keep her cubs fed, but never so recklessly that she's caught too far from them when danger arrives. Cheetahs have adapted to a world stacked against them by doing something almost no other predator on the savannah chooses to do. Hunting in the brutal heat of midday, when lions, hyenas, and leopards are resting in the shade to conserve energy. It's uncomfortable and physically demanding, but it dramatically reduces the odds of a stolen kill. It's not the strategy of the strongest animal in the ecosystem. It's the strategy of an animal that has learned, generation after generation, that survival isn't always about winning the fight. Sometimes it's about making sure the fight never happens at all. 5 chapters, 5 completely different survival strategies, and one truth that connects every single one of them. There is no any permanent throne. This is the real African savannah. Not a hierarchy, but a constant, shifting balance where every advantage comes with a matching vulnerability. It's brutal, it's unforgiving, and it's exactly what keeps this ecosystem alive. If this journey through Africa's deadliest rivalries kept you on the edge of your seat, let us know in the comments which battle hit you hardest, and subscribe, because next time we're heading into the skies and the swamps to uncover the deadly world of African eagles, rock pythons, and the hippo, the most underestimated killer on the entire continent.